This is the latest top-of-the-line full-size SUV from Ford, the Ford Expedition Platinum Max. And it's over $80,000. Now, it's not breaking news that cars get more expensive, but it's still kind of hard to fathom that we're in an era where you buy a Ford SUV and it's over 80 grand. So what do you actually get when you buy a $80,000 Ford Expedition? Let's find out. And before we continue on with this video, I want to give a special thanks to Moon Township Ford for making this video possible and letting me review their Ford Expedition. All their contact information along with inventory information will be provided in the description below. So for 2018, the Expedition was completely redesigned. So we're going to start with just doing a traditional walk around here and take a look at some of the exterior differences from the previous generation. So up front here, obviously brand new grille. Got new headlights. The grille actually reminds me of the Explorer Platinum that was introduced in 2016. And also we have the second generation Ecoboost engine, 3.5 liter, producing 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. That's on 87 pump gas. If you put 93 in there, you have 400 horsepower and 485 pound-feet of torque. Now this is the Max version of the Expedition. It used to be called EL for extended length. So this is by far the biggest SUV you can buy in the Ford lineup. We'll take a look at all the room you have inside in a minute. Now the wheels are 22-inch up front as well as the rear, of course. Now we have power deploying running boards. They come out as soon as you open the door. They close. As soon as you close the door, they're gone. Gives it a nice sleek feature to not have running boards sticking out of the car at all times. As we move along to the rear of the Expedition, you can see new taillights. Completely different design from the previous generation. Power liftgate, of course, with a lot of room. Now while we're back here, we'll talk about this right away. The Expedition has a shelving system, and then you have cubbies underneath here. Now if you need to, you're doing some kind of tailgate party or something, you can store stuff up here on this shelf. It's a pretty cool system. I like it. Now, it's a pretty impressive cargo capacity you have even when the third row seat is up. So if we put that down by clicking this button right here. Oh, that was actually the second row. Well, what do you know? So you can see for yourself, if you fold both the second row and third row down, I mean, it is massive amounts of room back here and storage capabilities. Before we jump inside, we'll take a look at the new key. That's a new key for the Expedition, that is. This was first introduced for the Fusion. Pretty stylish key fob, I would say. Obviously we have all our remote start, and you can open the lift gate and so on. No rocket science there. This has been around for a while. So let's jump inside, shall we? Now the interior of the Ford Expedition Platinum is very, very nice. The seats, again, saw these first in the Ford Explorer Platinum. It's the quilted Nirvana leather. You have the Platinum badging in here, and it's very nice. Very, very nice to the look and to the feel. Now in the door here, we have black leather. It's not the light interior until we get to the actual door handle here. Now this is a brand new car, and you can already tell that it's starting to kind of stain, which is a downside by having light leather interior, but still it looks absolutely gorgeous. And we got 10-way power seat, and the Platinum also comes with massaging seats, which is very, very nice. But let's jump in here. So although this is new for the Ford Expedition, the steering wheel has been around for a few years. We've seen that in the F-150, for instance, and the instrument cluster also looks very much like an F-150. So if you're a person like myself that's been around a lot of Fords, The new Expedition looks very, very nice, of course, but it's not that it's all that new, because we've seen it in other Ford models. So what we have here is the big digital instrument cluster, which is very customizable. You have your My View tab here where you can set your favorite settings and so on. I've covered this in so many different Ford reviews, so we're not going to go in depth in the actual instrument cluster here, but I usually just keep it on the digital speedometer. Now, one improvement that is excellent from the previous generation is the Bang & Olufsen sound system. Now, obviously these sound checks never do justice in a video like this because you can't really hear it, but it's an excellent sound system. Now, the climate control buttons here are digital as well, which I like. That is new for 18, very nice. Goes without saying, we have heated and cooled seats on both sides. And also new for this generation Expedition is the rotary dial shifter. I think you either love or hate this feature right here. Obviously it frees up a lot of space here in the center stack area. But again, it's kind of weird to turn the dial to put it in drive. And then here we have the different drive modes. It's actually called the terrain management system here. So if I turn that, we have normal, eco mode, sport mode, tow haul mode, mud rut mode, sand mode, grass, gravel, and snow mode, and then back to normal. The Expedition is basically a F-150. Although it doesn't have the bed, it has a bunch of seats in the back. Properly equipped, the Expedition can actually tow 9,300 pounds, which is a lot. As we jump out, we're gonna jump right back in. I always like to demonstrate legroom and headroom as I am 6'2" myself. So you can see here, tons of knee room. Now the driver's seat is obviously set for myself as I was just driving the car, so just see for yourself. Now, optional is the captain's chairs, which our tester today has. Otherwise, you would have a full bench seat here, but having the captain's chairs enables you to have a little walkway back to the third row seat. Now, while it is tighter back here, you can't really complain about the actual room you have back here. Many SUVs, if you sit in the third row, that is meant for children. Now, I'm a again, 6'2" adult, and I actually fit back here, so very, very good. Now the rear passengers have 2 USB ports, their own climate controls. You can set your favorite radio station. You have a full power plug back here as well. Optional is also the DVD system, although this car is not equipped with it. Very nice full panoramic moonroof. Really lights up the interior, especially when it's a light interior like this. Alright, so back in the driver's position. Now if you open this little compartment here, for the first time we have wireless charging. If you choose to not do that, 2 USB ports. One thing that's kind of shocking is that you don't have a full power plug here, only a 12 volt. On most F-150s you have a 12 volt and a 110 here. Now being a Platinum, this Expedition is jam-packed with a lot of technical features. So we have adaptive cruise control, lane keeping system, which you can turn off with this button right here. They all now come with auto start stop. We have a 360 camera, excellent resolution. Panoramic view right there. The infotainment system is the Sync 3 infotainment system that's been around now since 2016. It is an excellent system that I've done many reviews on. So I'm not going to waste your time with going in depth with this right now, but it's responsive and very easy to use. So what's it like to drive? Well, it definitely needs a powerful engine like this second generation Ecoboost, because this is obviously a big and heavy vehicle. Now it is 300 pounds lighter than the previous generation, because just like the F-150 and the Super Duty, the Expedition is now full aluminum body. But this full-size SUV still weighs over 5,000 pounds. With that being said, the ride in the Expedition is pleasant. It is extremely comfortable. Now having a V6 engine obviously helps out with it being quiet. And the big 22-inch tires are quiet as well. You don't hear a lot of road noise in here. I mean, what do you say about driving a big SUV like this? It's not a pickup, you don't have the bed, so it's not for that purpose. It's obviously if you have a very big family. Now, with our tester having the captain's chairs for the second row, this Expedition can seat 7 people and it can do it comfortably. I already jumped back there and tested out every seat. As you can tell, tons of room, very, very comfortable. Now, with that in mind, as a driver of the Ford Expedition Platinum Max, let's say you have 7 people in the vehicle, there are tons of safety features that Ford offers. Now, we touched on some of them already, but I'll go over them again as this is a family vehicle. So we have lane keeping system, which can be turned off. Personally, I don't like that feature. Steering wheel will vibrate as soon as you touch any of the lane markings in the road. We have adaptive cruise control, 360 camera. We have cross traffic alert for when you're backing out of a tight parking spot. That system will alert you that someone is coming from a direction that you cannot see yourself. Now, if you're challenged when it comes to parking a big vehicle like this, the Ford Expedition comes equipped with active park assist as well. Yeah, it pulls pretty hard, and you can't really notice when you start reaching speeds that are triple digits. Now, what we have not already mentioned is that the 3.5-liter second generation Ecoboost power plant under the hood is mated to the new 10-speed automatic transmission that was co-developed with GM, which is a very, very smooth transmission. Now, if you want to change gears manually, you don't have paddle shifters, and we also don't have a gear lever anymore, as I showed you guys. So if you want to change gears manually, you use these plus and minus buttons, which I have a very hard time finding myself doing if I were to own this car. Oh well, I would just keep it in automatic the whole time. It's not like this is a performance vehicle. Now, with all these technical super safety features that it is equipped with, it's the smaller and simpler features in this car that impresses me more. It has a little coin holder right here, very accessible. You don't have to shove your arm down in the center console here and start grabbing after coins like I do in my car. It might be an odd little thing to point out, but I really like that. That's nice. So we finally get to the question, is this SUV worth $80,000? It's a tough pill to swallow because it is a Ford. It's not a Cadillac Escalade. It's not a Lincoln Navigator. But can it compete with those brands? I would say yes, it can. If you're looking at an Escalade or looking at a Navigator, you're not going to get the fully loaded version for $80,000. Now, fully equipped, the Expedition goes up to $84,000. The only thing that this specific tester is missing is the DVD systems in the rear, and also the Max trailer tow package. But you're gonna have to decide for yourself if this is something that you would pay $80,000 for. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave your opinions in the comment section. And if you're stopping by this channel for the first time and you haven't already, and you want to, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.